For our next session today, I'm so pleased to introduce Professor Falconi, one of the key people in business management. Professor Falconi is the founder of one of the most influential management consulting firms in Brazil, with over 800 people in Brazil and around the world. He is a management consultant to not only the Brazilian government, but he also sits on some of the most influential food and beverage companies around the world. He has studied in Brazil and in the United States, earning his PhD in engineering from the Colorado School of Mines. Professor Falconi is an esteemed author, having published 7 books on management that have been translated into multiple languages. But he's also an entrepreneur, a visionary, and most importantly for us today, he is our esteemed guest. So please join me in welcoming Professor Falconi. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Much pleasure.
We've been talking a lot about goals as we've gone through the MBO process. I'd just be curious, so when you look at goals and MBOs, how do you transform a goal into an action plan, from a goal to an MBO into an action plan?
This was your best question so far.
Thank you. I'm on a roll now.
Yeah. Look, it's very simple indeed. Now, let's suppose that this is your level now of performance, and that you set up a goal for yourself to be here, okay? You're at 100, and now you want 120. The question is, why are you not in 120? And the real answer is, because I don't know. Because if I knew, I would be there. I'm an honest person. I work hard. If I don't have the result, it's because I don't know how to do. And my team doesn't either, you know. So this is a learning process. And an action plan is a place where you put the decision you took based on new knowledge. See? And there are 3 sources of knowledge. Some knowledge that you can build up within your own team. So the first action plan, you should call your team and go to a room, stay there one day. It takes one day, discussing, raising some data, and everybody will give his own opinion. And then you come out from the meeting with one plan. You execute, and suppose you didn't get any result. You did not get any result because the action plan was not good, not enough knowledge on it. So in the second trial, call more people, more knowledge, more specialists, call specialists from the company, from the outside, and then make a second trial. Add more knowledge to the plan. You may reach the result. If you don't, then you go to the third stage, which is the most difficult one, which is raising facts, data, analyzing, using statistics and things like this, you know. So we always have a resource of knowledge. But the secret is, everybody here, you know, should be conscious about knowledge learning in the process of achieving new results. When you get to a company that you know everything, you know what to do, go ahead and do it quickly. But you guys will reach a stage where you don't know what to do anymore to reach new stages of perfection. Then you have to keep learning and learning and learning all the time and drawing new knowledge for the company, you know. So this is the human growth process, you know, when you become a very good professional, you know, learning, learning, and learning all the time.
If people are not achieving their goal, what should they be doing?
Well, then we come up with this teamwork business, you know. Teamwork is not something that you should go ahead and say, let's go, guys, let's do some teamwork, you know. You know, this is fine for football, you know. In our case, we have to be a little more organized and say, okay, if you are red, that means you're not reaching your goal. Get together with your immediate team and see who is green and who is red. And then help the guy who is red. Have everybody help the guy, to see if you can get some more result from there. And then ask the guys that are in the green position to try to get a little more results so that you become green. See? So this is a way of keeping the bad results as low as possible in the company because they are easier to solve. Because if you go red to the top, all the actions taken as you go up in the structure of the company, they are more drastic, which is not nice, So if we can make an effort to solve our problems when they are still small, the better. Mm-hmm. So we have to contain the bad news as low as possible, So this is the effort everybody should do. And this is teamwork, by the way, If your friend is red, let's go ahead and help him. Because if you help him, you become green, your boss becomes green, and you get better bonus. That's the whole deal.
If someone has red, does that mean potentially that they set the wrong goals, or is it just means that they're not working hard enough to achieve those goals?
It could be both. No, I don't believe in not working hard enough. Everybody works hard, really. I think this. We have to set up the goals correctly. This is the first thing to do, And that's why we have to calculate all the gaps. Because if you know what the gaps you have, it's easier for you to set up goals, to work, because you know where the opportunities are in your area. So this is the first thing. The second thing is, you did not reach the goal. Maybe the quality of your action plan is not good. There's not enough knowledge. So be careful there. Now, if the quality of your plan is good, then I will conclude that there was no execution. See? And we must be very careful because we human beings, we are procrastinators. This is a tough word, isn't it? Procrastination means to leave things to be done later on, Oh, now let's get a beer now, tomorrow I'll take care of this. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow, and you never execute. So execution is magical, Now, if you have an action plan and you're sure that you executed the action plan and you didn't reach the goal, go to your boss and say, look, I have an action plan and executed everything. I did not reach the goal. Please help me, give me some more knowledge, and we'll do it. See, as simple as that. See? So everybody works hard, you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
Just be curious to understand, what are the characteristics of people who reach their goals? What are you looking for? How do you know is there a group of people that are going to reach their goals because they have certain characteristics?
I studied a lot about this leadership thing, And at the end of the story, I concluded that a leader, he can be tall, short, fat, skinny, no problem. Any color, bald, hairy, I have seen all kinds of leaders, talkative, silent. There is only one thing. A good leader knows how to keep his team united, helping each other to reach goals, And he is conscious that he has to draw knowledge all the time, and focus on results. This doesn't matter. I have seen very quiet and humble people, extremely good leaders, So it depends. So the only criterion is, if you reach goals with your team in an ethical manner, man, you're a good leader.
Good. So when you're setting goals, and we're going through this process for the first time here, how important is the checking of your goals, either if it's monthly or quarterly? What is the process that you really think is the right process for companies to be setting and making sure that we're benchmarking where are we against the goals?
Okay, now you have the goals, and then you go through this work of developing a good action plan. And I would invite you guys, not to go ahead and make an action plan here by yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it, This is not teamwork. So get your team together, develop a good action plan. If you have to spend 1 day or 2 days, go ahead and spend it. It's a precious time. And then execute. And then check. But don't check results only. Check results monthly, maybe every 15 days, but also check implementation, check execution, action by action, you see? Because the action may not be executed, or it may be executed on the wrong way. So you should check all the time, and try to help the guys. See, I'm sure you will reach all the goals you need to reach. I'm sure of that.
If you're checking all the time, though, and people are still not reaching their goals, what's your advice to the leaders in this room?
If you're not reaching your goals, you have only 2 options, you see. One is you're not executing correctly a good plan, or you're executing a bad plan. In this case, you need more knowledge. If you have a good plan and you're not executing, you can't reach the goal, of course. Nothing has changed, so you remain the same level.
Yep.
Now, if you execute a good plan, you reach the goal. Now, if you execute a good plan and you don't reach the goal, it has to be better. So draw more knowledge. The magical thing is, draw more knowledge. Call people, Try to find out who is the guy that knows a lot about what you do. Call him to help you. If he's an expert in the field, he's from France, call him, and do this. Can I tell you a story? A little story? Short. 3 minutes, okay? In this beer company in Brazil, in the 90s, at the end of the 90s, we built a nice beer factory in Rio de Janeiro. And the production of the beer factory was a failure, And then Marcel, who is one of the 3Gs, he said, Falconi, please go to Rio de Janeiro to see what's happening, because we put a lot of money there, $630 million for this factory, and nothing works well. So I spent 5 days there. I came back, and I told Marcel, well, the guys, they're nice, the factory is clean and everything is running. The only problem is that they don't know how to make beer,
That's a big problem, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but so we decided to call the best beer makers in the world, In the specific points of the beer making process, we called the best in every specific problem. That was the cheapest program, consulting program we had. And with so much advantage, because the guys, they would go there and say, look, level up this equipment here. And then you would level up the equipment and the production would double,
Yep.
Man, when you know, you know. So this is all a question of knowledge. Don't be afraid of goals. Don't be afraid of reaching your dreams, because all you have to do is to draw knowledge from all over the world, That's all.
Okay. Why do you think we need to change now and manage our business differently?
Well, one thing that I learned in my life is that a success in the past is not a guarantee for the future.
For sure.
So we have to be striving all the time, because everything changes around us. Everything. Government regulations, new technology, new materials, new world conditions. Everything changes. If you don't change, you die. You're a competitive Say you were competitive 50 years ago, you know. If you didn't change, you wouldn't be alive today, you know. So we have to keep changing all the time. And what is to change? To change is to set up goals, action plan, and keep moving, you know, all the time. And this movement is important.
Yeah, what's your advice to, I guess, to the role that leaders play in the process of managing, you know, results?
I think that, in my view, okay, this is in my view, the first role is people selecting the proper people for his team. We all have talents. This is biblical, you know. We all have talents. Everybody has talents. Our challenge is to pick up the right talent for the work you're doing. So first thing, take care of people. Second, teach your people, bring knowledge, manage this knowledge business. You get anywhere, you know, no problem. And we have to have discipline, you know, a good discipline. I'm talking about small details of discipline, you know, like, can I give you an example?
You can.
Okay. If you set up a meeting to start at, say, 9 a.m. and finish at 11, it's not nice to start at 9:30 and finish at 2 p.m. You know what I mean?
I'll have to remind some of my management team on that.
Yeah. I think you have good discipline here. You start at the right time.
We're on time still.
I was back here, exactly the right. No, but this is true, you know. And in our beer company in Brazil, I am a very quiet guy in the board, you know, but once I didn't like very much what was happening, you know, because we didn't have too much discipline in the board, and we have board meetings in different cities in the country and in different countries where we are. And normally we leave 2 hours for people from the place to present their results. And the other people talked so much that we had to say to the poor guys, you know, oh, well, I'm sorry, we don't have time for you. Nah, this is not fun. They prepared the presentation. They were happy to present to the board their results, you know. This is no fun, you know. So we took courses on communication, you know, how to make presentation in time, how to put your ideas concisely, and how to spend the time you have the right to, you know. So we became disciplined. So now every place we go, everybody knows that 3 p.m., people from the local place enter the room, and they make the presentation. 6 p.m., we are finished, so we can drink some beer later on, you know.
What's your advice to us as you look, you know, in the first year? What are some of the problems we're going to find in the first year, and how will we learn and grow from this as we go through 2, 3, 4 years from now?
I am sure there is a good understanding that we all may make some mistakes in the first year. What I mean is, we may have set up some goals wrong. We may have done this, you know. That may happen. We also may have done some bad action plan, you know. This is again, is communication. You know, somebody accepted his goal, but he didn't know how to make an action plan, you know. And he should have asked for help. He didn't. He did the plan by himself, you know. And these things always happen, but in the second year we will improve, and I think that in the third year the machine goes swiftly, you know, nicely.
I mean, there's some confusion, I think, with employees that bonus and goals are the same thing. So what's your reaction to what's the difference between a bonus and a goal for you? Delivering your goals versus getting a bonus.
I think this is interesting. A goal is a measure of your performance, you know, yours and your team's performance. So if you reach the goal, you're good, you know, you did a good work, you managed to bring knowledge to the group, you know, and the whole team grew. Now, a bonus is a prize for this, you know. This is only a prize for this. Now, the real thing about this is meritocracy. You know, in a company here, this company has meritocracy. That means that anybody here can be the future president. You know what I mean? Anybody here can be a future director of the company, and anybody here can be a partner of the company in the future. So anybody, not my son, you know, not my brother, but anybody. I think this makes a difference, see? This is meritocracy, you know. The best for the better, you know. That's it. And bonus is a part of it. And the goal is the measurement, you know. This is where we all want to go, you know. We want to realize our dream, and so we put goals every year to get there, just like stairs, you know. And that's it. And life is mostly about it, you know. One thing that I learned is that the owners of the company, everybody wants to pay bonus. When you don't pay bonus, you're worried, you know. Boy, we may lose the best values, you know. Everybody wants to pay bonus. So there is a desire to pay bonus, and there is a desire to receive the bonus. But to tell you the truth, the bonus itself is good. I think we should make as much money as we can. But this is not objective. You know what I mean? I'm 73 years old. This is not what is going to make you happy. What is going to make, no, you can become happy. I know, but, I know you want to make money, you know, it's fine. But look, this is not going to bring you happiness, you know. What brings you happiness really is when you feel that you're growing, you know.
Sure.
You feel that you belong to the place, you have a dream, you have a project, you know,
Yep.
and you're getting there. It's so good, you know. It's so good. So in the process, if you can get money, it's even better,
Yes.
you know. But there are some young people here. Take my advice. Everybody should make money, you know. But what is going to make you happy is to have a dream, be part of the team, you know. And this is a project, you know. It's not only 9 to 5. It is a project for life, you know. This is what makes difference. This is what makes me to be here 73 years old. You know what I mean? That's it.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How far in the organization should we cascade goals down?
We should go as far as we can, because every human being has the right to have a dream and a goal in life. You know? So we should deploy our goals to everybody in the company. And all the goals should reach the operation level, you know. So we have to be able to translate into a goal for the guy that is operating a machine, or somebody that is selling something in China, you know. So he has a small goal that he knows will add up to the goals of the company, which is part of our dream, you know. So everybody has the right to participate, you know what I mean? But this participation should not be, you know, let's go guys, let's participate. No, it's not like this, you know. I have to hand out, this is your responsibility, you know, as a human being. That's what I think the goal should be deployed. But we'll get there as we learn how to do this, you know, we'll get there. Like people from maintenance, they will have an oil consumption. When you lubricate this machine, you have an oil consumption KPI, you know, and he will have to take care of that because that adds up, you know. This is the point. He has the right to have this goal, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because not having a goal is just like going to a football field with no score. You know what I mean? Every man has the right to have a score in life, you know, that he knows he's doing a good job. That's it.
When you look at our goals, and we're going through this process this year, how important are the KPIs related to the goals?
Well, we all should have KPIs, and some of the KPIs were not made to improve. They were just made to maintain, you know. Like if you take, like, suppose the ketchup acidity, you know, the pH of the, for instance, I don't know if this is important or not, but anyway, you want to maintain, you know, a food, you want to maintain quality. Any variation of quality is bad for food, you know, we want to maintain. So those are the KPIs to maintain within a certain range. And then we have the KPIs to improve, you know, and those we want to improve all the time. Those were shown here by most of the executives. So this, it's just like driving a car, you know, and then you have your panel. You know the gas tank is full, you know the temperature is low, everything is nice. So suppose you're driving and you don't have anything here, you know. You don't know the speed, you don't know how you're doing with your gas. Well, that's too bad, you know. So I think, or driving, piloting an airplane, imagine that, no controls, too bad. So the KPIs is, so the KPIs is this, you know, KPIs. It's the control panel. Then you know how you're doing, if you should accelerate or not, and things like this. Essential for driving, you know, essential for piloting a company, you know, things like this. So we should strive to improve the KPIs quality, the quality of the KPIs, you know, because that changes too as time goes.
Sure.
So this is a good effort to make.
If you were thinking of a couple of closing comments for the organization, what are the 2, 3, 4 things you'd want to leave this management team with?
Don't forget, most of you, all of you guys here, I imagine, you have teams working with you. So don't forget, to reach goal, you have to draw knowledge to your team. Some of the knowledge is inside the team, but most of the knowledge you have to bring from outside. And some of the knowledge you have to bring from analyzing data and facts. So drawing knowledge is the first point. The second point is collective action plan. Don't make the action plan by yourself. Call the team, spend as much time as you have to spend to make a good, sound action plan. Second, you asked me 3.
Sure.
Okay, one more. Execution. Don't believe your action plans will be executed. Don't believe. Check action by action every day, you know, and check the results too. By doing this, I'm sure you guys are going to have very good results.